Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 11 of the Soapbox, and I am joined today by someone who has been on the podcast but never on a one-on-one. One of our patron bonus episode shenanigans friends, Mr. Tzar Walker.
How you guys doing today? I'm feeling pretty good. And I'm ready to chat it up.
That's a damn lie. I know. I'm ready. So I wanted to get started with while I may have gotten in scraps in my youth, and I had to fight with what I had versus without a lot of knowledge. You, my friend, your hands are registered weapons. So how did you get into boxing in the first place?
So honestly, it's not that really complicated of a story, but it's a story I like to tell to people who may seem interested in it, or they're I don't know, or they just want to find a way to learn how to defend themselves, So I was about 12. I was 12 years old when I first started. I got bullied a lot in middle school, mainly because I was actually on a previous podcast talking about it. I was a brony, and
that's why you were bullied.
Yeah, let's just say that that wasn't exactly accepted.
Plug for a second. For those of you who've heard previous episodes of the podcast, a friend of the podcast, Tyler Wilson, has started a new podcast called In the Mind Of.
In the Mind Of, yes.
And in their first episode, which should be releasing soon, in future podcasts, I will drop the link and name, specifically have them on to talk about it again. They actually talk about, Tzar here actually joined them and talked about bronies, but we're not going to talk about that fandom here because we're going to save all those. If you guys want to hear more about how deep that rabbit hole actually goes, check that podcast out. I'll make sure to blast it out on my social media when it releases. Keep an eye out for that. So as you were saying, you were brony in middle school, and that's why you were bullied.
So there was that. As Evan said before, please check that podcast out if you want to see just how deep that rabbit hole goes. But it wasn't just that. Also, I was very soft-spoken. I was out of shape. Let's just say that. And I didn't really have the best self-confidence.
Man, now you got all kinds of chest and shoulders.
So now, people took advantage of that, and it got to a point where I was tired of it, and I wanted to do something about it. And I realized that I had found out that there was a local boxing gym around my area. So I tried to take the initiative for once and go there to learn. And ever since then, it's just been history. It's been nothing but a lot of great fights, a lot of heartbreaking, I wouldn't say a lot, but a few heartbreaking moments. But all around, it was a great career. Career that I had, quote unquote.
Well, but, what was your fight loss ratio again?
From what I remember I was in. It wasn't like the headgear. There was a time where there were some times where I would take the headgear off, but I'd say I think it was 16 wins, 5 losses. Yeah, 16 wins, 5 losses.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's really not bad. What made you quit?
So the last loss that I had, it was probably the last loss that I had. It wasn't the last. No, it wasn't the last. It was the
last fight.
Last fight that I did have.
You get rocked.
Yeah, it was very, very bad. I got a concussion, and it was a pretty bad one at that, and I suffered some memory loss due to it. It wasn't like severe or anything, but there were just some things I have a hard time remembering some things. Like I go in my room and I literally forget what the hell I was getting like 5 minutes later, and
it was really, really bad.
Yeah, it was just short term. It was short term. So, but I at that point I realized I don't think I want to make this a career. Even whether I can definitely get better or not, which I knew I could. I had There was a point in time where I knew I had full confidence that I could do that, but I realized that um, I felt like very few people in the industry, not if not any, get out of that career without any sort of injury. That's just damn near impossible, if not just impossible. So I
So
didn't
what?
want.
So what do you? So it's not so much the injury that is the worry; it's the long-term effects of
Yes,
boxing.
it was definitely more of the
What?
long-term effects.
What have you? So obviously, since you got rocked that bad, you've got a certain level of brain damage that you're not dealing with now, but you're certainly gonna have to deal with later on. How are you combating that now?
Honestly, the way I try and deal with it is I try and make the fondest of memories that I can, so I can have an easier time remembering it. Because there are definitely some things there are definitely some events that I don't remember, good or bad. And anytime I do go, like say if I do go out with friends or family or loved ones, I try and make the most of it because
I
I
mean,
don't I don't really
if
know
you
what
think
I'll
about it, if
remember
you look at Muhammad Ali, he was barely touched during his career. He was touched, obviously, but he was barely touched, but still barely in comparison to the vastness of his career. And you saw him, and you remember when they pushed his poor body out, and he's just like shaking and just like I think what, but at the same time, it's like imagine how much he got his ass whooped when he was training to be that good.
It's a process. Like that I can definitely say it is not easy. It's not easy, and I don't think it'll ever be easy anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's something that you need to dedicate your time, effort, patience, and unfortunately, but truthfully,
Your mind.
your mind and body, especially.
Well, if you were to suggest a what martial art do you think is good for something like self-defense or whatever, but doesn't have the added risk of brain damage while training?
I would say, honestly, I think I'd say just standard karate. In my opinion, I feel like karate is the most essential, like the most balanced.
And you don't have to do headshots.
Yeah, honestly, like it's just honestly, I feel like in terms of like I don't know too much about karate,
But
honestly,
it's I would say karate like that. I didn't think about that, but like yeah, you're probably right in that regard, because Brazilian with something like jiu-jitsu or judo, you can only deal with one person at a
yeah,
time.
you can only deal with that one.
So
person
when
at
you're
a
getting
time,
jumped, you're kind of like SOL. Yeah.
So I definitely recommend karate out of all those disciplines, and I'm not of course obviously I'm not bashing jiu-jitsu, judo, taekwondo. Hell no, I would never do that.
No, all of them are valid disciplines that put you above the sheep.
Exactly. So, but that being said, I feel like if there is the least the least amount of physical risk during that training that you would suffer, I definitely recommend karate. I definitely recommend.
Yeah. So you put boxing on the wayside, but as I look at you now, you are wearing the upteenth space-themed NASA shirt I've seen. So, and you've got NASA hats, space. Like, before we get into like more space stuff, what did you think about during the anniversary of the moon landing a while ago? The video of Buzz Aldrin, all 88 some year old of him, punching a flat earther and a moon landing denier in the face.
That had to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I've never been scared of an 80-year-old man before. I'm scared of Buzz Aldrin.
That was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So, funny thing is that I actually love conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories are one of my favorite things to speak on.
Well, I mean, I'm sure. Well, I hope you're you're educated on things like the Tuskegee experiments,
Yes.
Operation North Woods, like the actual shit.
Yes.
All right.
But I never like have an issue hearing something that's just a little outside the box. But I don't.
What are your thoughts on the Storm Area 51? Speaking of which, it's right around the corner.
It is.
For anybody interested, who for anybody listening who's interested, go to the High Media Marketplace, to HIMediaTmarketplace.com, and the Tralala, the brand Tralala has a "I'ma yeet myself at Area 51 HBU," or how about you? So get your shirts so you're wearing them and repping.
So, Area 51. Let's not mince words. Listen, if you wanna, you wanna dance around that whole, hey, we're in Area 51.
Area 51 exists. It's where like we built like the stealth bombers that we use today. Like I mean, if you want to talk about conspiracy theories, like even someone like Bob Lazar, who says that there's something, like the government has something in terms of aliens, he said that it's not even at Area 51.
No,
it's at separate bases.
Exactly.
Right, Area 51 is just where they do the secret shit that the world will eventually see. You know, whatever they're building there right now is what's going to win us the next war we get into.
Exactly. So, long story short, listen, realistically speaking, don't raid Area 51. It's fucking stupid. That's dumb. Like, don't.
Memes!
Please, just don't do it, alright? Listen, I love Naruto as much as the next guy, but don't Naruto run to Area 51.
Make sure you have all your reverse Uno cards ready so the bullets go back at the people who shot them.
Hey, if you think it'll work out, do some Kagebushi no Jutsus, hope maybe they'll shoot the clones, but listen, I don't suggest it. All right, those men will they will shoot on sight most likely, and the remorse will probably carry on to them later, but they won't have remorse shooting you then. So I don't suggest doing it. All right, but that's just my own 2 cents.
Yes. So let's get back on topic.
Right.
So what's with the space fetish?
So,
or space fascination. let me not use that.
No, it's okay. So I've been interested in space since I was very young.
He's a wee little Zarlet.
And actually, okay, the main interest for me, or at least what really got me into it, it was an anime known as the Gundam series. Basically just it's nothing but a giant series of wars in space and stuff like that. But that's what really got me into the space travel, and Cowboy Bebop as well. It was stuff like that, and just mainly thinking what's out there, what's outside of, not just Earth, the universe, Milky Way, the galaxy, because it's an ever expanding universe. The universe is always expanding. There is not the universe. Space is expanding. It is expanding while I'm talking right now.
This is true.
That I don't mean to sound like a Machiavellian or anything like that, but we are literally just a speck in just how big space is.
Which at the end of the day makes you realize how pointless all the things we get mad about are.
So that's why it's sometimes when I think about that, I don't want to sound like
nihilistic.
Nihilistic, or like I said, have a Machiavellian X mindset. I don't want to say like things are meaningless now, saying that just how insignificant we are in this vast reach of space. But no, I'm saying the complete opposite. We should try our best to go and explore what's out there, see what we can find in this vast reach of just what we think is nothing, but is just an ever expansive void of everything. Wow, that actually sounded pretty contradictory, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, long story short, I love space, and I'm starting to drift more into wanting to learn aerospace engineering and stuff of that sort. So right now I'm still in the air about it, but I'd like to hopefully make a decision relatively soon. So
yeah. What was your thought? So did you hear about in this dropped like the other day? Did you hear about no, this dropped I think today or yesterday.
Okay.
It was how it was. They figured out they were figuring out the compound of like the meteor that struck the dinosaurs. It was just like how So wait, or even better yet, what about the fact that here's what one of the things that, given the news cycle of our current reality, one of the things that went under a year ago that I'm still surprised nobody has ever picked up on, that I still talk about whenever I talk about space because what the fuck, was Air Force pilots seeing shit in the sky that were flying objects, unidentified flying objects, not UFOs in the alien sense, but it is kind of, that were moving in ways that were not possible. And it came out, and the government released, the Air Force released files of going back decades, and these are the kind of pilots that like don't bullshit, they're like no nonsense people. I saw some weird shit out there. I'm just reporting it. That's all, Did you hear about that?
I actually did.
What are your thoughts?
And to be honest, and like I said earlier just now, there are so many things outside of Earth in the galaxy that we don't know yet. We're still finding. Well, hell, just recently, just not that long ago, we finally got like a decent picture of a black hole. Like,
yo, did you see the amount of of data she had to use?
Yes, it was. I knew it was hell for her. It had to be, but I give her so much props for that. That is absolutely amazing. That is an absolute breakthrough. So just finding things out like that, you have to ask yourself, what else is out there? There's so much more out there, and I actually, it's kind of sad to me that people do sweep that stuff under the rug. I mean, I do see there are some justifiable reasons for why.
Does it matter as much as the fact that some people are bombing others closer to home than 13 billion light years away or whatever? No, it doesn't objectively matter. People who are on a payroll for like a city kill the people they're supposed to protect. Obviously most people aren't going to give a shit.
Right.
But it's something that was such a feat of human intelligence that even it could have been a minor story, but it wasn't a story at all. No. Like the alien thing with the and then the black hole and it's just flat Earth. That's it's. What are your opinion of the flat Earth people?
Jesus Christmas.
Because I know you like conspiracies, but I also know that you're not stupid.
Listen. As I was saying earlier, listen. I love a good conspiracy theory. I love when people think outside the box just a little bit. But listen, I'm not a huge fan of blatant, unironic stupidity. And the flat Earth theory is.
Well, you know why? You know why the flat Earth theory exists, right?
Oh, yes.
Because if Christians are able to prove the Earth is flat, they're able to prove that all of science is lying, and that means that they were right.
But
the Earth is 6,000 years old.
They're not. They're not right. Because clearly science has made.
We've been digging up dinosaur bones for 150 years, and they're still in denial.
It's absolutely ludicrous. And listen, I make the joke every once in a while that the Earth is flat, but listen, there's so much evidence out there that we are literally orbiting the sun 365 days within the year, and just you have to anyone who's a flat earther, all right, anyone who's a flat Earth believer, besides that, I just want you to ask this one question. How in God's good name how do the seasons come to pass? How do seasons come to pass? Winter, fall, summer, spring. Why
is every other body in the universe, gigantic body,
yes,
circular?
Why? Why is that?
Why does the Earth move in a circular fashion?
Exactly.
What do we got? Two giant fucking elephants on a turtle flying through space. Is this Discworld or some shit?
Exactly. Like, I just want you to ask that question. Please ask that question. Ask these very simple, comprehensible questions.
My friend, you're attempting to ask lunatics to think reasonably.
I know, but maybe it'll
lunatics
get through to
like lunacy.
It'll get through to one of them one day, maybe.
Sure.
Yikes. But
it is what it is.
That'd be.
So, a huge nerd. A gigantic nerd. So you touched you touched on your brony history just now, and you went in much deeper on in the Mind of series with Tyler Wilson.
Yes.
My question is Megaman.
Oh boy, we're gonna be here for a while then. We're going to be here for a while.
Yeah, because half the bonus episodes we've recorded that you've been in, while we were recording, you were playing Megaman on the TV.
Well, about that. Okay, so where do I start?
Let's start at the beginning. First Mega Man game you ever played.
First Mega Man game I ever played was actually Mega Man 10, which was
then you went back.
Mm-hmm. So funny story about how that happened. It's a bit of a sad tale too, but trust me, it gets better. So I was living in California with my uncle a couple years back. I was about 11 years old, and
he was a wee little Zarlet.
And I was this is when the Wii was still the Wii U was on the horizon, but the Wii was still relatively popular at the time. So I was on the Wii U eShop, not the Wii U eShop, the Wii eShop, and I had stumbled upon Mega Man 9 and 10. Mega Man 9 didn't, for some strange reason, I'll still never figure out to this day, didn't really appeal to me that much. But Mega Man 10, that's where it was at. Mm. And what they advertised that Base, Mega Man's rival, and Proto Man, Mega Man's quote unquote brother,
right,
was going to be playable characters, and I completely lost it. I was like, I need to get this game.
You lost your mind, yeah.
So there was only one problem.
What?
I'm a broke boy. What am I gonna do? So, and but I had realized that my birthday was about a week or so. It was closing in, so I went downstairs and asked my uncle, can I please have $10, just $10, added to my Wii Shop account so I can purchase Mega Man 11 for my birthday? No. Go back upstairs. What? Excuse me? So, you know what? I said nothing. I said absolutely nothing. I went upstairs and I cried for 20 minutes. Anyways, so my next plan of action was, I didn't have a plan of action. I just accepted it. And then my mother calls me. And I didn't get a call from her in a long time. Mm-hmm. So.
And you're like, gotcha, bitch!
So I called her. And I tell her what's going on, stuff like that. She's in the hospital at the time, and I tell her, my birthday, obviously, my birthday's coming up, and I just really, I don't even want anything else. I don't even care about anything else. Anything else I get, that's cool, but I just really, really want Mega Man 11. This woman tells me to go back on the shop channel and go get her credit card and get her credit card information to purchase the game. So,
I'll kill you.
That meant a lot to me that day, because that was the only gift I got. I never got a gift from my uncle. Didn't get a gift from anyone else but her. So,
what's your background?
Culturally. Culturally? African American. Well, African, more African than anything.
Yeah, that's why you didn't get no gifts.
So, what can I say? The gift that you get from them is love. That's just about it. Anything monetary, that's thrown out the window.
You have clothes on your back. Why do you want a gift?
So,
you ate today? There, that is the gift.
That is the gift. Clothes on your back. That is a gift. The gift of life. That is your gift.
You want to know how I know that?
Eastern European family.
Yeah, man. So
Same shit.
Yup. So
I mean, once your family has generations have been crushed under the feet of the czars, or Stalin, like you tend to just be just like, oh, like the American lectures are just like, go fuck yourself.
that sounds about right. So, that was the only gift that I received that year. So, Mega Man 10 means a lot to me, not just in terms of a game, but in terms of sentimental value. So, but back to the main point. Uh, Mega Man 10 was my first Mega Man game. That was my first real exposure to the series, and ever since then I've been a huge fan.
What's the best Mega Man game?
The best Mega Man game? Okay, so
actually, let's do this.
Yeah.
What is the first? Have you played every single Mega Man game that exists?
I have played 1 through 11. 11 being released, I believe, either recently this year or last year.
All right. Then let's take this a different way.
Yeah.
Starting with 1 all the way to 11.
Okay, so
best part of the game, worst part of the game.
Oh boy. Well, let's get started.
And where you rank it in terms of list of the best games. So let's start with number 1.
Let's get started. Mega Man 1. Holy shit. That game is fucking difficult. That game is, if you
good hard or bad hard?
It is a mixture of the two, in my opinion.
Sorry everybody. Tzar is giving me like a side eye because while we're talking and I have a dating app on my phone and I'm just liking every woman on there just to better my pathetic chances.
So Mega Man 1.
Yes, I did just like a girl that looks like Shrek.
Jesus Christ.
Because I don't have any better options.
Well,
go fuck yourself.
Hey, listen, you are to each their own, I say, ladies and gentlemen. But Mega Man 1 is balls to the wall, 80s, good old 80s, like difficult.
A lot of white girls,
fucking hard.
A lot of white girls.
Like, you know what? Jumping off what Evan's saying right now. It's like me being the skin color that I am in a school that's full of that. That's how difficult.
Welcome to UD.
That's how difficult it is.
Yeah.
But going back to Mega Man 1, there's a lot of challenge.
A lot of weird girls are gonna come out and go, "Can I touch your hair, please?"
But
don't even ask.
That's the worst part. But there's just a lot of trial and error with it, which the Mega Man series does hold that concept very close to it, and that's okay with me. It's okay. I never have an issue with doing a task, failing at the task, and learning from said task how to do it correctly, and then going back and doing it correctly. That's fine with me. Mega Man 1 took that concept and turned it up to 27, and that's where I had my main issue with it. There were a lot of instances where you couldn't predict where one thing was going to happen. You couldn't predict a bottomless pit. You couldn't predict where an enemy was going to be placed before you try and shoot it, and boom, it knocks you off the platform, and boom, you're dead. There's also a little caveat, not caveat, but also just a little quirk that's in the game that no one liked, is where you would get hit by an enemy, you fall on spikes, and there's no invincibility period where you don't take damage for a short amount of time. Second you hit the spikes and you get hit, you're dead. Just like that.
Because you're just dead. Yeah.
Because fucking 80s nonsense. So that was
Programmer probably couldn't program armor frames for some reason.
Yeah, and honestly, that's okay. Of course, Mega Man, as great as the game it is, the very first game, it's just
balls.
Yeah, it's a product of its time.
Let's move on to number 2.
Mega Man 2, that is definitely up there in terms of ranking for me. In terms of
3. In terms of your favorite,
say
4, 5, or 3.
Top 3. Yeah, top three, most definitely. Because
no particular order. Let's do no
particular order. But Mega Man 2 is definitely up there for me. Most of the problems that Mega Man 1 had were ironed out, including the biggest one that I said just now. Most of those issues were ironed out.
Right.
Weapons given from the bosses, the robot masters were they had so much more utility to them
They
that
took everything they learned from the first game and improved upon it.
exactly. And if there's one thing I love about a sequel, it's taking things that did not work or concepts that seem to have some type of merit in the first title, taking it to the second one and make it either making things even better, fixing the things that didn't work or getting rid of them, or improving upon things that had a chance to work. And that's exactly what Mega Man 2 did. And that's probably the main reason why I love it. Among just how stupidly broken the Metal Blade was, and just you can go crazy with it, man. It's fucking great.
So moving on to number 3.
Number 3, honestly, not that far behind Mega Man 2. Not that far behind Mega Man 2.
Let's speed this up a little bit. Where did the series start to falter?
Okay, so if we're going to talk about the classic series, the classic Mega Man series, I will say about 5 and 6. And I say those because around the time those were being developed, the Super Nintendo was about to be released. It was the Super Nintendo was about to be released. By the time Mega Man 6 had released, the Super Nintendo was already out. So Capcom was still making these games for the original Nintendo Entertainment System,
which a lot of people didn't have anymore.
Yeah, whether the people didn't even play anymore or they didn't even have.
No, what I mean is, where did it falter mechanically?
Oh, mechanically?
Like, when did it start? They start being not great games. I know they bounced back recently, but
I'd say, I don't know. I mean, it usually depends, but okay. So getting out of the classic series, because the problem with that mainly was just because it was starting to get just a little too monotonous, and it was just being released on Super Nintendo. So luckily the problem was resolved, but where I feel like mechanically where things faltered, or just where Mega Man faltered as a series, it was mainly just the company who made the series themselves, Capcom. So
Capcom is not great.
Especially in I'd say around early 2000s or so, it was really bad for Capcom. There were a lot of projects that were up and coming for the Mega Man series that were just flat out canceled. 2 I can think about on top of my head was Mega Man Online. That was a huge project that people were looking forward to. That was canceled. And the biggest one out of all the canceled ones was Mega Man Legends 3. Mega Man Legends being a very beloved series to people who own PlayStation, the very first PlayStation, and Mega Man fans alike.
And this is when Mega Man became multi-platform.
Yes. So it was a very troubling time for Capcom because it seemed that there was no hope for the Mega Man series. And to add more fuel to the fire, the Mega Man X series that is the direct sequel to the Mega Man series, the classic series, that was faltering as well. Originally the story for Mega Man X was supposed to end at Mega Man X5.
Right.
But Capcom did some sneaky shit and started working on the next game.
Because they were like, I'm rich, bitch!
Yeah. So they already started. Capcom did some sneaky shit, as I was saying, and started working on the next game in the lineup that wasn't even supposed to be the next game. It was supposed to end at X5, but they were working on it without one of the series' main heads, Keiji Inafune.
Because they're like, show me the money! Yeah.
And that did not go well in their favor because Mega Man X6 is one of the worst games in the series and my personal worst game of all time. So it didn't work out for them.
Well, why was it a bad game?
So
aside from the shady shit, what mechanically was bad about it?
Mechanically speaking, it's the funny thing is this: it plays like the games prior to it, like X4 and X5, and all of them they play very smoothly. The problem is the mechanics that they introduce to the game. There's a system called the Nightmare System where random negative effects will be activated when you go into a certain stage. But the problem is this: it's not really a nightmare effect. It's more of when it happens. there's a certain time where it's supposed to happen, and it happens whenever the hell it does. It is not. It is. And it specifically says within the game itself that there is supposed to be a certain time when it happens. That does not matter. That is complete bullshit.
It happens when the game wants to.
It happens when the game feels like it.
Usually in the worst fucking time.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely atrocious, and it is definitely one of the worst points of the game.
Was it aside from the nightmare system? Was the shooting good? The bosses fun?
Bosses were either extremely easy to simply find a pattern to just one shot and destroy, or bone crushingly difficult to the point where
it wasn't fun.
Yes,
because I've seen you play Mega Man, and you play on the hardest difficulty, and that game, it just looks challenging.
And the thing is about the Mega Man series is that it as you said, it has there's a lot of challenge with it, but there's so much reward to get out of it once you complete that challenge. That satisfaction you get when you complete the challenge.
That it makes killing another boss easier.
Exactly, and it's such a great feeling, but you don't get that feeling with Mega Man X6. All it is just nothing but a sigh of relief that you finished the next challenge and you're about to head out to the next one.
And you cry slightly as you go to finish the next one.
It is absolutely shameful. But for me, at least in my opinion, that was honestly the lowest point of the Mega Man series for me.
Yeah. You're also very lethal when it comes to fighting games.
What can I say?
Play Mean Richter.
What can I say?
Has made my little Mac cry many a time.
So the fighting game genre is a genre I've been versed in for years now. Ever since middle school, I'd like to say. And Super Smash Brothers is definitely the pinnacle, at least for me. At least when it comes to games I play, in terms of the fighting game genre. So I started years ago. I believe I mentioned it a while ago in the first
one of our first bonus episodes.
Yes, in one of the first bonus episodes. I mentioned some time ago that my first game was the 64, and of course it's weird because I was born in 1999 and the game released in 1999. But thanks to the Wii eShop, I was able to buy the game from there and get to experience what it was like playing the game in '99, and it was interesting to say the least. Is it a great game? Yes, it is, but it definitely just didn't feel like it was for me.
It was mechanically dated.
Yes.
Even at the time.
Even at the time, but it's still a very sound game that laid the groundwork for what the series is known for today.
I.e. yeeting people off a platform.
And thanks to the game from '99, it's now a household name today. So
and I think Sakurai, what he's going to want to do is he's just going to milk Ultimate as long he might just keep releasing characters and never really in more stages and all that, and because I don't think he wants to make another Smash Ultimate game.
Honestly,
if they do put out another Smash game,
it will never ever be as big as the Smash game that is released right now. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is the
that's part of the reason that is Sakurai will not be the one making it. He won't be the one. He says point blank he's done. It should have stopped at Brawl.
It should have, honestly.
I mean, I will say I enjoyed the Subspace Emissary.
I did greatly.
I liked it much more than the Spirit Board in Ultimate.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Because they put effort into that single player, and it was fun.
Sadly, the reason why there is no follow up story or similar.
Because that was supposed to be the end.
Yeah, that and all the cutscenes for the Subspace Emissary were leaked on YouTube, and when Nintendo of Japan caught wind of this, they let's just say Sakurai wasn't too happy when that was found out, and ever since then, no other story like Subspace Emissary was ever made for a Smash Brothers game after Brawl.
Even though the stages in it were amazing.
They were.
I remember getting Marth, Ike, and Meta Knight fighting, and then seeing some shit in the distance, and just all right, time to go.
That was an amazing.
Epic.
Seems like
I would deliberately. You know what's funny? I would deliberately kill Marth and Ike just to play Meta Knight.
I'm not even surprised hearing that revelation.
Yeah, I'm
So-
I'm scummy. I'm a little scumbag.
So, but it's just a shame that stuff like that happens. But you can't really help it. It's the internet these days. Anything and everything will be on it, and it's just something you can't really escape from. So
It is. It's true. This is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a brief hiatus. We're going to jump into an ad break real quick. We will see you guys momentarily. See you in a bit. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have returned. So, this is why you don't do acrobats with your fucking phone. Hey, girl, I like texting me back. Wonderful. But anywho, so you are a psychology major. Am I correct?
yes, sir.
What made you want to approach that path?
So I didn't really have too much of an interest. I mean, I did have a small interest into it, but I didn't really think more about it. Didn't really consider more, like taking a deeper study into it until I'd say high school, around 9th grade. I was in this introduction to what's it?
Psychology.
Yeah, introduction to psychology.
How did you forget what you?
No, it wasn't called that. I think it was human behavior. Yeah, it was human behavior. Intro to human behavior, which is psychology. But honestly, I had really enjoyed the class. I was like deeply enthralled by just how much of the brain is there, and just how informative it can be.
Easily manipulative people. You can manipulate people.
Well, that's definitely a more malicious reason, but it's it's still a reason. So, but I had gotten really, I just gotten really interested in knowing that. So honestly, it wasn't really that interesting to me up until that point in time. So, I also have my own personal reasons for that. But it was just mainly because I don't know, I just found it interesting, at least during high school. So, ooh, excuse me.
So you just hopped on that just because you found the schools of thought interesting.
Yeah, I just found it really interesting to learn just how many things outside internal and external influences there are to the brain. So, just thinking about how much it can be affected.
Have you learned anything about PTSD?
I'm still doing research on it, because I mean it is, I'm gonna say it's relatively easy to understand,
but complex to just understand, to just
right.
grasp the gravity of it.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that go into PTSD. It doesn't have to be from just combat, like active combat.
I would wager a lot of the youth of Wilmington have PTSD.
I honestly believe the same thing.
The boy was killed just the other day.
It can be triggered by a multitude of things, not just
Abuse.
Yeah, abuse.
I believe it's triggered by being forced to be in a fight or flight state of mind for longer than is absolutely necessary.
Yes, and the long-lasting effects of it can be difficult for people. Even after the event passed years later, it's
Bud for our boys.
It's
Bud
sad.
for our boys. I'm gonna make that a national pro weed for veterans campaign. Ugh. You know what? I don't care. If you are listening and you want to take that and run with it, go ahead. It's yours.
Yeah. So, it's just there's just so much to it that we still don't know yet. As still a good amount of mental illnesses we still don't fully know yet, especially more severe ones like schizophrenia. That is an illness that's still being looked upon and still being figured out.
Right, but but it's not being criminalized anymore. It's not being vilified by people as much as it used to be.
It was yeah. It was,
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I'm an epileptic.
Really now?
Yeah, I have seizures. Granted, on my seizure, I've grown out of them mostly, but I can have seizures when when all three of the following are not being met. I can neglect 2 out of the 3 and still be seizure free, but the moment all 3 go bye-bye, things are bad. Well rested, well fed, well state of mind. If I'm stressed, starving or malnourished, or not sleeping, and like if it's I'm good. I can be doing 2 of those things, not doing 2 of those things, and only be doing 1, and I'll be fine. But the moment I lack on all 3, it could happen at any time. It's usually when I'm sleeping, but it can just be it can be a lot.
Yeah, it's very different. It's very I know it's very difficult to grasp and to understand. Sometimes it's difficult to there are times where it's difficult to understand for people who have whatever mental illness it is. Like me, I have generalized anxiety disorder. So me, essentially, I get anxious way more than the average person. Just to make the definition straightforward. There are a lot of small things, a lot of small things that bother me. Like not nearly as much as they did like back then, but just a tiny bit, you know. And there's just a good deal of times where I just feel like I'm on edge. You know?
In your opinion, learning what you've learned, there are a lot of people with quote unquote ADHD. Do you really think that like I've met people with actual ADHD? Like it's apparent. Like people would consider me ADHD. I'm just wired differently, and a lot of people are wired differently.
That's true.
What do you think about like teachers just classifying a kid as ADHD instead of like actually putting in the effort to like teach him how to learn?
That is not good. That's in my opinion. I don't believe in that at all. Research needs to be done before making that concrete conclusion. You cannot just go off of assumption.
And just because they are acting up in class doesn't mean they're ADHD.
No.
That might mean that your teaching style is not adequate for their learning. That or they have learned what you are, or alternatively they've learned it and they're bored and they're not being challenged. Or in a meaningful way.
And there could be issues at home as well that you're not even that aren't being considered. There are a lot of factors that can be put into a child simply not grasping the content or refusing to learn the content that a teacher is instructing. So just classifying them under ADHD, like this kid is wilding out. Give him ADHD. That's why I can't. No. Research is so important when it comes to this field. As with a lot of fields in the area of science, it is so apparent you can't just go off of opinions. Facts
don't care about your feelings.
They don't, unfortunately. And
now but I will say that the one thing you need to make sure is, are we talking about the facts of the way things are or the facts of the way you feel? Because facts can be misconstrued to mean different things.
Oh, they can.
Which is a scary prospect.
But
and if you want to hear more of that, look out this coming Monday for Hyperpartisan, the brand new apolitical podcast with my co-host Mr. Rick Bork. Where me, a raging fucking liberal, and him, an arch conservative, have pull different local, national, and international topics and discuss them in a candid and, here's the key, polite situation. Let's have a return to normalcy. So, plugs aside, let's moving on to a more happy topic. I asked this to Sean, and he's just like, oh, don't put me on the spot on this. But you know what? I'm going to do it to you, too.
Oh, boy. Let's see it.
It's your Mount Rushmore hip-hop.
Oh, boy.
Now, not just individuals, you can put groups up.
Okay.
If you want me to start, I can tell you what mine was right off the top.
Sure.
Cube to start. Not because, yes, I love NWA, but Ice Cube was the first. Ice Cube's "It Was a Good Day" was the very first hip hop song I ever listened to. So he's got to get the one. He has a slot by default.
Mm-hmm.
Wu-Tang,
Mm-hmm.
Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
There's four people on Mount Rushmore, if I remember correctly.
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so it's Wu-Tang, A Tribe Called Quest, and probably I'll give this last one probably to Biggie or Eminem, depending on how I'm feeling. Depending if I'm feeling chill or I'm feeling angsty.
Okay. Me, I don't listen. I've listened to so many rap hip hop artists, groups. That I don't really know if I can have a favorite, but
No particular order. The four you were to put on, the four groups or people you put on Mount Rushmore.
But if I were to put four, I put the Wu-Tang Clan.
Mm-hmm.
I put who else? I would put Black Moon.
Never heard of Black Moon.
I'll show you a song from him.
Let's make playlists and exchange afterwards.
Sure. Yeah.
And if you guys are interested, I'll make sure to have links to those links to those YouTube playlists in the description below.
Gangstar, also known as Guru,
Mm-hmm.
and
I've been listening to a lot of. My buddy put me on to Run the Jewels recently.
and KRS-One. Those are the four people I put on there.
Interesting. So, Wu-Tang,
Black Moon.
Wu-Tang, Black Moon, KRS-One, and
Damn, what was the last one? Oh my god, my memory's fucking me up again. Yeah, it was Wu-Tang, KRS-One.
Guru.
Guru and Guru as well. Yes, thank you.
Do me a favor, text that to me so along with the playlist you got that like your playlist, so I can have it out.
Definitely.
So, anywho, I don't really subscribe to Lord Jamar's principle of hip hop, like every other race is a guest in the house of hip hop, because it's since transcended to become an art form of the oppressed, to yell at authority in a way that makes them fearful. You know, I mean, Russian rappers and Malaysian rappers and Turkish that are all in their home countries writing these songs in a non-violent, saying violent things to people who do violence upon them in non-violent ways. You know, so I think it's an art form of humanity. It started in Brooklyn. New York and black culture will forever be credited as the origins and the creators of it, but it is no longer just a culturally black art form anymore.
No, not at all.
It is the art form that gives any oppressed human a voice. And I think I understand the desire to keep what's yours and make it yours, but it's kind of selfish at the same time.
Yeah. So honestly, I do. In my opinion, I am 100% welcome to anyone who I don't care if you're,
as long as you ain't trash.
Yeah, you know,
as long as you can spit and as long as you have something to say.
Yeah, like I don't care what race you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what you believe in. Nah. If you got bars to spit, then spit it. Like if I'm walking down if I'm walking down, I don't know, some street in fucking England or some shit, and I see some British guy spitting bars, shit, I want to hear him. I want to hear what you got, bro. Like,
Well,
British
British hip-hop is interesting because for a long time they just emulated America. And now they've come on to do their own kind of style.
Have their own style, their own beat, their own feeling, you know. And it just that's the beauty, and that's just the beauty. That's not just the beauty of hip hop. That's the beauty of music in general. It can be defined by what you want it to be, and that's why, in my opinion, it just has such a worldwide appeal because it can be anything you want it to be. And there's genres. You have these genres, main genres like rock and roll, hip hop, pop music, funk music. It's just amazing. And you have subsections of those different types of main culture or main sections of that type of sound, and just you have so many options of what you want to listen to and what you're interested in. That I am like 100% under the belief that anyone can get into music. Anyone can. Anyone can like music. Anyone can find a sound that just.
But not everybody can rap.
No, but not everyone can rap.
Half you SoundCloud rappers need to just go get an apron and get a Burger King job because I'm for real, you have no future in that shit.
Yeah, that's very true. Listen, man, I am a believer of you being able to improve yourself, but I've
met plenty of rappers who are like just like you and me. They're just like, and they're fire. They can spit. They got talent. They can go somewhere. They just haven't had the platform yet. Plenty of others who are at the same level, who I'm just like, dude, I know if I say this to you in person, and if I actually ever said this to you, you'd throw a punch, but you're a whack-ass rapper.
Yeah,
you need to stop. You need to stop.
I'm not one to shoot down dreams, but listen.
A shitty SoundCloud career is not going to pay the bills.
Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not one to shoot down dreams, but listen, if it's consistently not working, I suggest that you put that career or what career you want to make from it. I want you to. I advise that you put it on the back burner for now, and focus on something else that you're more skilled in.
Yeah. For real.
It's.
And if that's your only skill, then you know what you should do. Write raps. Even if you're bad at it, and you still want to do that, write raps, make beats, and sell them to other rappers.
I agree.
And sell them royalty free. Sell them you own this as you own whatever product is made with this. You just don't own the base file itself. So you can sell that file to multiple people.
Honestly, sometimes that really is just the way to go.
Right. I mean, I have a buddy who's a composer. He just released his. He shout out to my friend Will Landis. He go to WilliamLandisMusic.com, see some of his stuff. He recently released a full-length episode of a stop-motion Lego cartoon.
Impressive.
Took him a year of work. It's 25 minutes, fade in and fade outs for ad breaks and stuff like that. It's impressive.
Yeah, that's
really impressive.
Very impressive. Oh, definitely check that out when I can.
Yeah, definitely. If you do want to go see it, it's actually featured on the front page of mynewsfeedcenter.com, which is what I use to cure, which is my personal where is my personal pet project, where you have a curated videos and articles and stuff you can look at, pulled from all over the web, just with perfect for anybody who just wants to look at some of the new shit that you may not have seen before, you have seen, or some things that you just want to discover something interesting that's underground.
Right.
So, moving on. So let me ask you. So I don't know. You know that I listen to old rap and stuff. I'm just an old head through and through when it comes to rap, when it comes to country, when it comes to blues, when it comes to jazz, when it comes to rock and roll. It's all. If it's before 2005, I probably like it. Here's the difference, though. Here's what I want to ask you. Let me put it to you this way. The newest album I've listened to was Run the Jewels. It's like that was 2013.
Right.
And I listened to it last month. So what is the last thing you heard? What is the last good album or last good group of singles you've heard from an artist?
I think the last album, the last good album. I wouldn't say the last good. Oh yeah, the last good album was a guy I'm a huge fan of. His name is Joey Badass. He's one of the newer hip hop artists that have well, kind of new.
Does he
but not
rap
really
old or
new.
does he rap new?
He raps old.
Oh,
Definitely raps old.
make sure
New
you
rapper
present.
with a very old spin.
Interesting.
He's one of his debut albums. One of his first albums was Summer Nights, and I listened to a few singles from there. Some Hillary Swank, Waves, stuff like that. But I had taken the time to listen to the full album, and it is probably one of the best albums I've heard yet.
What about Logic? Cause he's like the nerdy aspect of him. I've not personally not listened to any of his music, but you being someone who listens to more new shit than I do, and being a fellow nerd, I wanted to get your perspective. But you're also an objective hip hop fan, so I wanted to hear what you think.
Logic, for me,
I found out he was mixed.
Yeah.
How?
Actually,
fine.
fine.
You know what? You might be mixed, but you know what? You never been treated it.
I'm actually wanting to get to that. Like, I just want to get that elephant in the room. So I actually wanted to talk about that elephant in the room right now. So Logic, he is mixed. That is correct. He is. I believe he's black and white or something. I don't know.
Looks white. Yeah. If anything, white and Latino.
Dude, dude. I really could care less. All right,
He certainly has been treated like, because I know it might be kind of like effed up to say, but whatever, regardless of what you like I understand that mixed people have like the dichotomy of like they're not completely treated white by white people, they're not completely treated black by black people, they're kind of stuck in a limbo in between. And I empathize and I understand that, you know, like I get it, you know, it's rough, and I mean when I talked with Malik Rondo, in a previous podcast, we touched on this a little bit, but what I will say is, like, if you're mad pale, like, you know, and you have like no color to your skin whatsoever, even if you're mixed,
right.
What society is not going to do is treat you like you're mixed unless you tell them. And even then, there's all this psychological fucked up things that are wrong with our society that, like, let's be real. I get like you and I walking down the street, Tzar, like people like the way we interact with people, I see the differences. It's kind of, and it makes me mad. But like, there's nothing our generation can do to completely stop it now, other than starting the process of fixing and changing hearts and minds. You know, we like Dr. like RuPaul, Ellen DeGeneres, Dr. King, Malcolm X, got like all these great people in the past who fought for American rights. They had to walk so we could run. We have to run so that our kids and grandkids can sprint to the finish line. That's all I'm doing.
Hey, you said, you took the words out of my mouth. You're right.
Yeah, but anywho, so didn't Logic do a whole album about like space and shit?
I think he did. I'm not gonna lie, Evan. Honestly, I really don't care for Logic. I think it's because it just every time I see him, it always just seems like he just accentuates just how black he is and all this stuff. And I'm probably
I kind of get why he has to do that. I mean, like, look at how Eminem's look how Eminem's treated. I mean, the hood ain't listening to Eminem, but he's also, at least from objectively, from a lyricism and from just talking shop, he is one of the best lyricists that has ever lived. You can put him in the same. I don't really, when it comes to lyricism, I don't really consider
Tupac is part of that because Tupac was all about messaging, being prophetic.
I agree.
Thought.
Yeah.
Biggie, on the other hand, like I'll listen to like I'll like it's just I just listen all of his music. It's just there's just a level of complexity between the beats and the lyrics and how he does things that are just so impressive. You know, so
I agree. Honestly. I think controversial opinion time. I think Tupac is overrated. I think someone probably wants to punch me dead in my face, but
he's overrated from the perspective, from a technical perspective. His cultural impact is colossal.
It is. That I will agree with.
But as a rapper, he's honestly, you know, all his songs are great. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
of course.
I love Hail Mary. It's one of my favorite songs by him. But it's just his songs aren't technical. They aren't technically intricate.
Yeah, it's just
it's like if you compare like something like Tupac to like what like Wu-Tang was doing, it's like or Tupac and Biggie is like you have to compare all these groups. You can't all judge them by the same standards because they accomplish different things in different ways and they mean different things based on how.
But yeah, that's just my own hot take. Is Tupac a very renowned and respected artist? Yes,
of course. He's immortalized in the American lexicon.
You know,
he spawned a generation of Tupac alikes.
Everyone. One of the most common things people say is that he is the rose that grew from the concrete. So, he's definitely renowned. At least for me, he definitely just seemed like an artist who wanted to send messages about the world he lived in, and the world people lived in, at least at that time, rather than any any lyrical complexities or stuff like that. And if I am wrong, if you think I'm wrong, then you have full right to think that. I just believe that I think he's overrated. But yeah, that's just my hot take for the day.
I've only been interested in hip hop for about a year and a half, 2 years. And it's just I like the art form. I appreciate the artistic and the tech and the intelligence that goes behind some of this music. Kind of why this new age shit kind of like rubs me the wrong way because I can see how smart all these people were. And like when you actually sit down and listen to it, and I have a music background, so it's like I can like dissect like the lyricism, I can dissect the beats, and I can understand what is technically going on there, and it's technically impressive. And then I see you're such a fucking hoe, I love it, and I see that shit, and I'm just like, oh my god, my brain.
Well, as I say, music is subjective. People like what they like, and people don't like what they don't like, obviously. And ultimately, it's just up to you on what you're interested in. There are people who, if there's one thing I know, I absolutely hate country music. I can't stand it for the life of me.
Well, let's be clear. Do you hate all country music ever, or do you hate country music that just takes another genre and just of music, another beat from a different genre of music, adds a banjo and maybe a fiddle to it, and then talks about cowboy boots, drinking, and partying?
The latter.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that because that is the type of country that I hear over the first type, and I can't stand it for the life of me. Just because of that whole subgenre of it alone, I can't stand. I hate country. I can't stand it.
It's not real country.
All the people who've define that genre, I have a lot of respect for them. That is amazing, and that's
Have you
amazing.
ever heard the
Other than
song
that,
"Murder
no.
on Music Row"?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I didn't listen to the full thing, but yeah, I've heard of it.
It's a song by George Strait with Alan Jackson, two giants in the country world.
Mm-hmm.
And Music Row is a street in Nashville, Tennessee, where it's culturally like significant for country music because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like honky tonks and recording studios were there, and it's just from a music perspective, it was just culturally very important.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say country music, I mean old school. Sorry everybody. I apologize for the delay. I'm currently looking up something real quick to share with Mr. Walker here. So, here is the lyrics to the song. And you know what's interesting? This new, like, country music is having the same problem rap's having. Listen to this. Here are the lyrics from the song. Nobody saw him running from 16th Avenue. They never found the fingerprint or the weapon that was used, but someone killed country music, cut out its heart and soul. They got away with music down on Music Row. The almighty dollar and the lust for worldwide fame slowly killed tradition, and for that someone should hang. They all say not guilty, but the evidence will show that murder was committed down on Music Row. For the steel guitars no longer cry and fiddles barely play, but drums and rock and roll guitars are mixed up in your face. Old Hank Williams, the first, wouldn't have a chance on today's radio since they committed murder down on Music Row.
Interesting.
Think about this for a second. Like the lyrics there. Rock is having this issue. Metal is having this issue. Country is having this issue. Rap is having this issue. All of these subgenres that aren't pop were always niche. They didn't have a large fan base.
No.
But they've since become mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And when something becomes mainstream, what happens? Shit gets through too. And people fuck with the shit. You know? And maybe it's just because we're like, I don't know. It's just aggravating.
It is a growing problem, and I do agree with that. But it's a problem that is probably going to take quite some time to solve, and that's just the reality of it all. Can it be solved? I think so, but
Maybe.
Is it going to take a while? You bet your ass it will.
I didn't know you were a Wu-Tang fan.
Yeah, I've been a Wu-Tang fan for years.
Wu-Tang forever.
Yeah, you know what to say. Wu-Tang's for the children. And I was around like 5 or 6 years old when I heard my first song from them. I believe it was the Mystery of Chess Boxing. That was the very first song I learned.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites by them too.
Yeah. I was very.
And Anthony fucking hates it.
Yeah.
Kind of pisses me off a little bit, but I get it.
That was one of the first songs I heard from them, and ever since then, that's one of my favorite hip hop songs. I remember almost all of it. I remember there are definitely certain artists whose there's certain members of the group in the song whose lines I remember better than others, but overall though it's an amazing song, and it's definitely the song that put Wu-Tang on the map. So Wu-Tang forever, man.
Yeah, man.
Yo, it's like actually, you know what I'm gonna do I'm gonna play 36. I'm gonna play a little 36 Chambers for like while we're still having a conversation. Low. So you can still hear it. So you're just gonna hear a little bit in the background. Let me just see if I can find that album. Brooks and Dunn, Adele, Beastie Boys, Jack White. Let's see. To the Wu-Tang. There it is. And just go through the entire album, I guess.
Shadowboxing. And a Wu-Tang song.
What? Why are you still throwing your phone around like that? You know, like you saw what almost happened last time.
It's a bad habit. I can't help it. I have a case, so I don't care. I could care less.
When was the first time you played Diablo?
First time I played Diablo was oh my god. I think it was high school. I was in 9th grade when I first started playing, and I was like hooked on it. I was hooked on it ever since that day. And I always wanted a copy of it, but I could never get it because obviously
Broke bitch.
Yeah, I was broke, and at the same time, I wasn't of age to get it. So
there's no way your uncle's gonna do it.
Exactly. So
thank God for digital distribution platform. If I was 13 now, I would have everything. I would own everything.
So when an opportunity took place around December of last year, when it was the full package of Diablo 3, the Reaper of Souls edition, when it was released on sale that same day, I had to take the opportunity to get it.
Make no mistake, you also got me and Anthony into this as well. Like I'm Paragon like level like 80 right now.
The game is simply addicting. It's
a grind fest, but it's a fun grind fest.
Exactly, especially with friends. It's
oh my god, it's like you drop in a group in Torment level 5 and just go ham.
It's
especially with my Necromancer.
A lot of there are, and I think the biggest appeal of it for me for Diablo 3 is the amount of customization you can have to your character and just how effective you want them to be in one aspect compared to another.
Well, there's plenty of play styles depending on the skills and gear you use.
Exactly.
Like I play a pet necro, which is just vomiting things at people. I don't have any points in defense because everything's being aggroed by everything else.
Your best defense is your attack.
Right. It's like I've got the one thing so I have it set to my R is it summons mages that shoot shit. And then when they die, they turn into corpses. And then I can raise those corpses, and then they turn into melee skeletons. And then I can just basically make corpses at will and double my army size.
They're essentially invincible.
Right.
You can't get rid of them.
I'm followed by 7 skeleton warriors that like press of a button will jump at something and blow it up. Perfect for like just. And then I have an aura around me at all time where anything that's at 10% health or less is insta killed. Helpful with bosses. Mad helpful with bosses. Yeah. What do you play?
Yeah. I usually play the Crusader class. I'm always
tank for days.
Yeah. When it comes to classes, I usually just pick the most balanced one because I'm just boring.
Basic bitch.
But yeah. I really do enjoy it. Not because of just how easy it is to try and find different ways to make it suited to your playstyle, but mostly because you can kind of just you can just fiddle around with it. To be honest, I turned my Crusader from a short distance fighter to someone who can fight damn near on par with a mage in terms of distance. So when
you're just darting all around the map.
Yeah, and with the attack power and defense that I have, it makes me essentially indestructible. It's just a great feeling to have.
Yeah.
So, choose that class, man. If you don't know where to start at, I suggest the Crusader class. It would be a great class to get started in.
Or if you just want to play easy mode, play Necromancer.
Honestly, those two classes, they will get you started.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, the Necromancer is. I sacrifice a lot of damage for that, just the easy play. If I really wanted to be a badass powerhouse, shield, sword, up close attacks, plus like things like Corp Explosion.
Yeah. That's a dangerous combination right there.
Right.
That is a dangerous combination.
Because if you can get a bunch of corpses around the boss, anything that comes in, you just hit a button.
You're done.
And you just keep exploding them.
Exactly.
Right. You get 3 corpses.
it'll over and like you congregate some things around them, blow, bang, done. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
But they're hard. But the corpse thing is hard to deal with when you're dealing with like bosses.
It is.
Especially like for something like Asmodon isn't as bad, but Belial certainly is. Belial is not is difficult not because he's strong, but because you have to tailor your certain skills around to fight him.
That's very true. I learned that the hard way.
You can't use certain things to kill him because he's not effective. You're not even able to target him with certain skills.
So I had to realize that. I realized that at a very bad time. I think that was during my first playthrough of the game. Mm-hmm. That's when I realized it, and I had the game. I already set the game on hard mode because, well, normal for pussies at this point when it comes to Diablo. But yeah, I learned.
I played the story mode on hard.
Yeah, and even then, once you get enough stuff and once you get enough experience playing the game, like not just experience in the game, but experience of yourself playing the game, it's easy. It's easy. So. Great game all around. I highly suggest getting
Let's give some indie love, you know? So let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this interview out with what is your favorite indie game right now of all time?
My favorite indie game of all time?
That you're just obsessing over. Think about it.
My favorite indie game would be. I don't know if it counts. I don't know if it counts as an indie game, but I'm going to count it as an indie game. It's called Azure. I usually just say that. Striker Gunvolt. Basically, just the Gunvolt series. That is my favorite.
What is the Gunvolt series?
So this Gunvolt series. Going back to Megaman, just for a tiny bit, just for a little bit. Okay, I'm a little obsessive. Okay, that means I care. Anyways, it takes a lot of liberties from the Mega Man series in that it's at its core it's a run and gun platforming game, but the difference is
it faster or slower than
it's
Mega Man?
much faster. It has mechanics from both the original Mega Man. But it takes more from Mega Man X, the older series, the sequel series to the classic series. So, in that you can essentially run, you can sprint faster, wall jump.
Can you send me a link to a store page for it?
Yeah, definitely. And
I'll make sure to put that store page in the link. So.
And also you can customize it. You can customize Gunvolt to whatever playstyle that you would like. So if you want a speedrunner-esque playstyle, like for me, he has this great, like this amazing air dash mechanic. Then one of the upgrade chips that you can get not only extends the air dash period, but it also makes you lets you have 3 air dashes, and it's just amazing if you're trying to blast through a level. Right. So Azure Striker Gunvolt. That is my favorite indie game.
Nice, man. Mm-hmm. All right, let's pause this. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the High Soapbox, episode 11. Tzar Walker, thank you for joining us.
It's great talking to you guys. Have a good one.
Before you go, is there anything you want to plug, any business hustles you want to do, people you want to support, links, social media, things like that you want to drop?
You know what? There's one thing. There is a Super Smash Brothers tournament going on September 26th, 5 o'clock through 9 or so at this college, Delaware Technical Community College. Be there.
Please, my ass gonna be there, and I know that God forbid I get put in the same bracket as you. You gonna wipe my ass.
I play Little Mac. I'm the first 3 people I watch are going to be like are going to underestimate me. After that, they're gonna all right. I gotta watch me.
Let's just say it's gonna be one hell of a show. So be there.
All right, everybody. That's it for this episode. Have a good one.